Hey, it's Oz here with more mind mapping tools, and in this video I'm going to share with you a mind mapping app for Mac. So if you use a Mac of any sort, like a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air, then this video is for you. Okay, so here we are at my desktop, and the first thing I want to show you is how I use this mind map. Now let me say that you may already be using some mind mapping software. And I do. I use Xmind as my main go-to mind mapping software. However, there is one particular type of mind map that I rely on this tool to help me with, because it's very difficult and very frustrating to try and do that type of mind map in other mind mapping tools. So I want to show you how I use this tool, precisely what for, because I think you may get a lot of use out of that. Then of course I will share with you the people who make this mind map. And by the way, just so you know, I use the free version. Okay, so let's get started. So as I just mentioned, I do use other mind mapping tools. And on that note, this video is part of a playlist all about mind mapping tools. So do check those out because you may find some cool stuff in there. Okay, so this is the mind mapping app that I use on my Mac when I need a certain type of mind map. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is now. You'll see that we have a main node or a bubble, and this is the start of our mind map. But watch this. This is what I can do with this app. I can right click anywhere on the workspace and create a new main node. Let's call that 1. Now, the cool thing here is that this node is independent. It doesn't snap to any grid, which is something that happens in other mind mapping tools. And more importantly, it doesn't automatically attach itself to the nearest node, which does happen in other tools and is very frustrating. So here I can create another node, and I'm going to call that 2. And you'll notice I have complete freedom of movement and it doesn't attach itself to anything. And I can take it as close as I want to any node, and it still doesn't attach itself to anything. So let me create a third node and place that there. So that's the first thing. Let me just select them all and just move them here like this. That's the first thing that I really like about this mind mapping app. The fact that I can create these nodes and they are completely independent. Now, the way I use this is I right click and create a connection, and that essentially is an arrow like this. Okay, so let's do the same for these 2 other nodes. And how cool is that? So you can see why I use this mind mapping app. This is the closest thing that you'll see to a flowchart in a mind mapping tool. And if you've ever tried to create a flowchart in a mind mapping tool, you know just how difficult and frustrating that is. But this tool enables me to get pretty close. So I can actually map out workflows really well using this, and more importantly, very easily and very quickly. I also use this tool to create workflows, sales funnels, marketing campaigns, just so I can visualize them. So let's say, for example, that this first node here is a landing page, and this second node is an opt-in. This third node is going to be an upsell, and this fourth node is going to be a downsell. Now I can move this node like this and actually change this a little bit. We're going to remove this connection here by going to delete connection. We're going to add a new connection here, and here we're going to create a new node and call this the thank you page. Then we'll connect the upsell and the downsell. So in this sales funnel, somebody comes into our landing page, some people go through an opt-in, that then takes them to an upsell, and if they buy, they go straight to the thank you page. If they don't buy, they are presented with a downsell, and if they buy that, they are taken to the same thank you page. And of course, we could create a second thank you page and actually delete this connection and have the people who buy the downsell go to a separate thank you page that is more relevant to them. Try doing this in your normal mind mapping tool. Now, the more nodes you add to the workspace, the more you can actually move from right to left and up and down to accommodate your mind map on your screen. You can, of course, zoom out. All I did there was place my fingers in the trackpad and contract, and you can zoom in. And all I did there was, again on the trackpad, just expanded my fingers. So this is an example of a sales funnel. I also create campaigns visually using this mind mapping tool, but let's merge a campaign into this sales funnel just so that we get the full picture. So I'm going to create a node there called FB for Facebook. I'm going to create one there for Twitter. I'm going to create the one for YouTube. Let me just align these nodes so it looks a bit nicer. And let's connect some of these nodes like this. So this tells us that we're going to send traffic to the landing page from these platforms. And then we're going to craft our sales funnel using these nodes. The arrows are flexible, by the way, so you can do this. So if you have a complex sales funnel or a complex campaign, you can bend your arrows around any nodes and make it look really cool. So now you see why I use this mind mapping app, despite the fact that I have other mind mapping software tools that I like to use almost daily. It's because I can create these very cool visual maps. Now, this is a mind mapping tool, of course, so you can use it for mind mapping as well if you want. So let me just give you a quick example of how that works. All I did there was I selected this node and I hit the tab key. So let me just call this child here, or this branch 1. Now watch what happens when I press enter. It creates a new branch, but it creates it in a different color. Now let me do that again, and you'll see that every branch I create has a different color. Now if I hit the tab key again on branch number 5, watch what happens. The children of number 5 inherit the same color as the parent. So this enables you to create really nice visual mind maps. So you could actually use it as your main mind mapping tool if you wanted to. For that, you would probably need to purchase the app because the free version comes with a limit of up to about 10 nodes. So obviously, if you want to create big mind maps using this, then you do need to buy the app. But the good news is that the app is very, very cheap. So it is a good investment. But if all you need are simple visual maps, then the free version will probably do you just fine. Now, this is the website of the people who make this mind mapping app. The domain name is mindnode.com and the app is called MindNode. And you can see here on the website that they have 2 buttons where you can download this app from the App Store. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this video is part of a playlist which is all about mind mapping tools. So do check the other videos because you may just find something cool. And on that note, if you want to stay up to date with all these cool tools, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and that way you don't miss a thing. In the meantime, take it easy and I shall catch you in the next video.